What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bob's Holly World. I am Bob Hollywood, bringing you another more recent review. Today, we're going to be reviewing two figures, and they come in the same two-pack. It is this Marvel Spider-Man and Mr. Negative from the Marvel Gamerverse. These two figures came in like a series of figures. They were a series of two packs, either some were Marvel vs. Capcom, such as Black Widow and Ryu, and Iron Man and Mega Man. And then I think the other one was Civil Warrior and the Collector. So I'm still looking for that one mainly. Really, I wanted the Collector. I actually bought Black Widow and the Collector online on eBay moments before I saw the two packs they originally come in. So Black Widow comes with Ryu. I still need Ryu, and the Collector comes with Civil Warrior. I still need the Civil Warrior. So I'll probably end up having duplicates of the Collector and Black Widow. I already have a custom in mind for Black Widow, but nothing in the pipeline for the Collector. At least not right now. So anyway, as you can see, this is a two-pack made by Hasbro, licensed from Marvel, which is owned by Disney. Marvel is owned by Disney. So we're going to turn it over, and we have a bio. It's in 4 different languages. We're going to read the English language one because that's the language I speak. It says, as he seeks to defend the city he calls home, Spider-Man crosses paths with Mr. Negative, the ruthless gang leader of their inner demons and one of the most dangerous threats to ever sweep through New York. So yeah, that's pretty cool. When I first saw this Mr. Negative figure, like in person, like I was like, dude looks Asian. And that's because I'm an idiot and didn't know that Mr. Negative is indeed Asian. I had to look up his Wikipedia just to get some info on him. And then Spider-Man. This is a pretty cool suit. I will say that. I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man, but this will be my 7th Spider-Man figure in this size, in this scale. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting a box cutter. I have a million Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the figure I have the most in any inch figures. So I have more 3 3/4 figures that are Spider-Man than any other figure. I think the next closest is Thor, and then I have more Spider-Man figures in the like 6-inch scale or 5-inch scale, whichever one you want to prefer. Not 6-inch, 5-inch. And by the way, this came out this year, 2018. So this is new. This is new world. Some places already had this. Like a guy I'm subscribed to who did a wonderful review on these. I believe he's in the Philippines. And he already has these. He has the whole set. Whereas I was the first one I ever saw, and the only one I saw for a long time was the Iron Man and Mega Man. And I don't know anything about Mega Man, and I dislike Iron Man, so I did not buy that one. Excuse me. As you see, there's a little diorama usage that comes in there. That's a lot of these figures. That one's the most detailed I've ever seen. It's like a little city, but that's cool. And as you see right here, we have Spider-Man and Mr. Negative. They're still partially in their plastic prisons. I'm going to do Spider-Man first, just because I don't care about his character. And I don't know, I already don't like the figure that much. I will say he's in the top 3 of my Spider-Man, because he does look awesome. I'll give him that. And this is some webbing for Spider-Man. Go ahead and bam, like that. So this is cool. Yeah, this Spider-Man is rad. I can't say what this Spider-Man's from, why he looks like this, but I will say this costume looks cool. He has this kind of reminds me of, his mask reminds me of like the Spider-Man image that was in comics back in the day. It may still be there. I don't know. I don't really read comics. But then everything else is newer. I like this white. You're just used to seeing blue, red, and black with Spider-Man, but this guy has a white spider and then white webbings on his hands and all that. So it's cool. His shoes almost look like tennis shoes. Almost looks like he has on like Pumas, and they're painted pretty well. There's a little bit of some error there, but for the most part, it's not a big deal. And if you know me, if you've been watching my reviews for a little while, I don't get mad really when it's like a blemish. I mean, I'm going to play with the toy, and it's going to get scuffed up anyway, right? There is some white paint on the back of his helmet, the back of his mask, and also like some other blemishes, both black and white. The spider on his back, you can clearly see the black webbing underneath the white spider, and not on the front. They did a good job painting the front, but on the back, you can clearly see the black lines. That's kind of ugly, but it's not a huge deal for me. Also, the white paint on his left hand is same way, kind of like it's scraping, so you can see some red paint from his hand. Not a bad thing though. Not a big deal rather. He's pretty well articulated. I like this guy. I will say I like him. I'm gonna go ahead and get his height out of the way real quick. He is just over 4 inches, so that's cool. I like that. Let's go ahead and do his articulation. That's a lot of it, so I'm not gonna count it. But his head, let's go ahead and start with that. That is his base position for his head and his neck. His head goes back that far, which is impressive actually, and goes down that much. I can already tell you his head's going to swivel 360 degrees no matter which way you turn it. And his shoulders, his arms, they go up that much. That's pretty good. Can almost like recreate the scene from the first Spider-Man. Was it the first Spider-Man when he's holding back the train? I believe so. And shoulders are going to rotate 360 degrees either way you do it. He's also got this bicep swivel, no matter which way you do it. And then his elbows, single jointed, but he can give you a little bit better than 90 degrees on both, which is gnarly. I like that. His wrist rotate. Don't disappoint me. His wrists rotate, but they're stiff. So I'm not going to mess with his wrist. Fuck that. At least not his left. His right gives me no issues. His left is a little stiff. I don't know what it is with figures in left. Their left arm has been a little bit stiff, or that left side of their body been a little bit stiffer. Anyway, let's go to his abdomen, his torso. He has, I don't know what that's called, honestly. I don't know what that joint's called, but he can rotate 360 degrees at his pec area. He also has a little bit of a, it's not even an ab crunch, it's a chest crunch. And he also can swivel at the waist, not 360 degrees, but he can turn for some dynamic posing. And maybe it's 360 degrees and mine just isn't cooperating. And it's not a big deal to me. Let's get his legs. Let's see how far up they go. I can already tell you this much. I like the crotch joint that he has compared to some figures where you got to do all sorts of stupid stuff to get him to go one leg. His leg is coming off, as you can see from doing that. But it's not a big deal. It pops right back on. And he's very soft. His legs are very soft plastic compared to his crotch area, and his torso is soft, harder, but his arms very soft, mask very soft. Neck is it's hard. I would say it's hard. Going back to his legs, they don't go out very wide. This is as wide as they're going to go, so they're not going to get super dynamic and pose in that regard. But he has these thigh swivels. I don't know what a thigh is. I do, but it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And those swivel 360 degrees both legs. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I don't know, like, if it's the settings on this newer phone, but like it gives you a 10-minute recording window, and then it stops. So maybe I can change that in the settings, but I'm not sure. But it was encroaching on that, and I didn't want to cut off mid-sentence, so I just stopped it while I could. But again, thigh swivels. I don't know why I'm trying to say other stuff. And then his knees double jointed. And this is so he can get some pretty cool looks if you want it like that and all that. And there's his legs coming off. His leg coming off again at the hip. And he's got this calf swivel. It's going to be on both of his blue legs. And I like where you can see where he comes apart at. And I like that. I like, because to me, that's like an easier way to like kit bash and stuff like that. And then his feet, his feet do this. They rotate at the ankle, and they also go up and down, front and back, and side to side. And he has peg holes in both of his feet, and there's his information under his feet. Marvel, wow, this was made in 2016, but it just was released this year. Marvel, it says Marvel 2016 on his foot. Whoops, sorry about that, folks. If I can get it to focus. It's not that big of a deal, but his foot clearly says 2016. Anyway, going back to where he can come apart at. I don't want to risk it. I really don't want to break this dude. But like he can come apart here. And he can come apart here. That's a little strain. So if you're going to do it, and he can come apart here. But if you're going to do it, you might want to apply like some heat to it so you don't risk breaking your figure. And I'm imagining his hands could also come off. And of course, my favorite part of any figure. Oh, geez. New tripod, right? Like it seems to be a little top heavier. Move the camera over a little bit. But yeah, his head comes off. Pretty decent sized head. I don't feel like trying to figure out what else could go in there. But that's cool. I know I was going to do both figures in one review, but this is already over 10 minutes. So I'm actually going to just, do Mr. Negative separately. Who's complaining about an extra video? Not me. But before I do that, I do want to compare him to the other Spider-Men that I have. Sorry, Mr. Negative, we didn't get to you. Let's pan this down so I can bring him in closer. Closer. So there's today's Spider-Man on our left. I'm just going to call him White Spider. I don't know. And then I think my newest, no, he's not the newest, but he's one of the coolest. I'm going to compare him to Tom Holland. And he's, whoa, Tom Holland is ready for a fight, man. He just chest hit at this dude. Jesus, kid. So there he is. That's Tom Holland on the right with his Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. That's all I can say. He's one of my least favorite Spider-Man. Less articulation. His legs are stuck in this pose. He's very short comparatively. The only thing I like about this Spider-Man is the fact that his mask is textured. I think he's the only one like that. No, I want to have one more. So I'm stand him there. If he chooses to stand up, he's not. And this is my other least favorite Spider-Man. He's very bland. Let me move this guy over a little bit. But he has this cool armor, man. Like, his armor's cool. And, like, these two Spider-Man, more than anything, remind me of 90s figures. Because in the 90s, Toy Biz was just pumping out different Spider suits, different Wolverine suits. It didn't even have to make sense. It didn't have to be in the TV show. It didn't have to be in the comics. They were just taking advantage of the license. And then we have Spider-Man in his symbiote, his black uniform. It's kind of gray and blue, but it's cool. Not a lot of articulation in the lower body, but it's cool. I like it. He looks alien. I really dig it. And there's those two. He's still slightly shorter. This one might be the tallest Spider-Man. And then I actually like this one less. This one I'm about to bring out less than I like the black suit, but they're both even, I guess. There's this guy. And he's the only other one with a textured mask, but he has a whole textured body. So everywhere you see, you can feel it. Again, not a huge fan of Spider-Man, so I don't know what this suit's from. Not a lot of articulation in this figure. But he's cool. I don't know why I started laying them down. That second one didn't want to sit or stand, so I just started laying them all down. And then we have Spider-Man Noir. So, this is my favorite Spider-Man, or at least it was until this new guy showed up. I don't like, and this is what I was talking about with the leg joints. Look at them. They're like, you can't do what this one do. Even though, like, you can turn them and get him so he can kick his legs out. This particular one's stiff. So I would have to apply heat to do that. I haven't done that because I'm lazy, I guess. But, other than that, he's not, I don't know. I don't know. He has a textured mask too, and a textured suit, but it's not really the same mask as the other. But I don't know which one I like best. This one's taller. The Noir's taller if he could stand up straight. But I can't say Noir's necessarily better. I don't want to put that on him. I don't know which one. These are my two favorite Spider-Man, followed by Tom Holland. But that's cool. That's it, guys. I'm going to let Spider-Man web you up. And so you can't go anywhere, so you got to continue watching Bob's Holly World. But other than that, I appreciate you spending some time with me. Your company was excellent, even though I did all the talking. I am a horrible host. But, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let all your homies know about me, B.O.B., and where they can find me. That's right here at Bob's Holly World. Bob's Holly World, wow. And I really, truly appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Enjoy the rest of your life. Have a good one.